It's a perfect afternoon, the kind I live for. I'm kicked back on my porch, iced tea sweating in my hand, the sun dipping low and casting that golden light I love. The neighborhood's quiet, birds singing, a lawnmower buzzing somewhere down the block. This is my time, my little piece of peace, after grinding all week to keep this house, my pride and joy, standing tall. Then I see her. Karen. My stomach twists just saying her name. She's marching across the street like she's on a mission, clipboard clutched tight, that smug smirk plastered on her face. I know that look. It's the one that says she's about to turn my day upside down. She stops right at the edge of my yard, the one I've mowed and watered and paid for, and stands there like she's some kind of sheriff. Well, she says, her voice all fake sweet and venomous. Looks like we've got a problem here. She taps that damn clipboard, the sound slicing through the air, and I swear I can feel my blood pressure tick up. She's not even a real HOA officer, just a self-appointed dictator with too much time and not enough sense. But there she is, telling me I'm breaking some rule I didn't even know existed. Probably something she dreamed up while spying on me through her curtains. I've dealt with her before, you know. She's hounded me about my grass being half an inch too long, griped about the shade of my mailbox, even had the nerve to complain. My barbecue smoke was disrupting her precious peace. I've let it slide, kept my cool, because that's me. I don't sweat the small stuff. But this feels different. There's an edge to her today, a gleam in her eye that says she's not just poking at me anymore, she's coming for me. It's like she's been waiting for this, building up to something bigger, and I'm the target. My tea's still cold in my hand, but the air's gone hot and heavy. I lock eyes with her, take a slow sip, and think, Karen, you've just crossed a line, and I'm not sure you're ready for what's coming. So there I am, still on my porch, the ice in my tea melting as Karen stands there, clipboard in hand, acting like she's the queen of my damn street. That smug smirk of hers hasn't budged. But now she's leaning in, her voice dropping to this icy tone that makes my skin crawl. You're disturbing the peace, she says, like I've been out here blasting music or throwing wild parties. Disturbing the peace. Me, I've been sitting here minding my own business while she's the one stomping over uninvited. But I see it now, her game's getting clearer by the second. I've noticed it before, you know. Karen's got this pattern. She never hassles the white families down the block. Oh no, their lawns can grow wild, their kids can scream all day, and she doesn't bat an eye. But me, or the Garcias 2 houses over, or Mrs. Patel across the street, we're the ones she's always after, waving her little rules like a weapon. It's selective and it's ugly, and standing there with her staring me down, I feel it hit me full force. This isn't just about some HOA nonsense. This is about me, who I am, what I represent to her. And that stings deeper than I want to admit. I set my tea down, slow, deliberate, because I'm not about to let her think she's rattled me. What piece am I disturbing, Karen? I ask, keeping my voice steady, but there's an edge to it I can't hide. And since when are you the one who gets to decide? She doesn't flinch, just tilts her head, eyes narrowing, and says, if you don't comply, I'll escalate this. I'll take it as far as it needs to go. Escalate it? To who? She's not even official. She's got no badge, no title, just that clipboard and a whole lot of nerve. But then she leans in closer, her voice dropping low, and hits me with it. I have the power to make your life miserable, and don't you forget it. That's when it sinks in. This isn't a game anymore. It's a power play. She's not just flexing some made-up authority. She's trying to put me in my place, remind me who she thinks runs things around here. My chest tightens, not out of fear, but out of something hotter. Anger, maybe, or defiance. I've worked too hard for this house, this life, to let her stand there and threaten me like I'm nothing. I meet her gaze, unflinching, and think, you want to push me, Karen? Go ahead. I've dealt with worse than you, and I'm still standing. So there we are, face to face on my own damn property, the air thick with this unspoken war Karen's trying to wage. She's got that clipboard gripped like a shield, her eyes boring into me, waiting for me to flinch, to cave. But I see it now. Clear as day. She feeds on this. The intimidation, the power trip, the way she thinks she can just bark and I'll roll over. Not today. Not ever. My heart's pounding, but my feet are planted firm. I'm done playing nice. She takes a step closer, her voice sharp enough to cut glass. "I'll have you arrested," she snaps, like she's got a direct line to the cops in her back pocket. Arrested? For what? Sipping tea on my porch? I almost laugh, but instead, I keep my cool, leaning back just enough to let her know she's not rattling me. "Karen," I say, slow and steady, "the HOA doesn't have police powers. You can't just snap your fingers and make that happen." It's a fact, plain and simple, but I see her jaw tighten. She doesn't like being called out, not one bit. For a second she falters, and I think maybe she'll back off. But no, not Karen. She doubles down, stepping right into my space, her voice rising like she's preaching to the whole damn street. "This is my neighborhood," she says, spitting the words like they're gospel, "and I won't let you ruin it." My neighborhood. My neighborhood. I've lived here longer than her, paid my dues, built a life here, and she's got the gall to claim it like I'm some outsider crashing her perfect little kingdom. That "you" hangs in the air, heavy and pointed, and I know exactly what she means. It's not about rules or peace or any of that garbage she's peddling. It's about me, my skin, my place, and she's betting I'll just take it. But I don't. I straighten up, look her dead in the eye, and let the silence stretch just long enough to make her squirm. "This is my home, Karen," I say, my voice low but ironclad. "I'm not ruining anything. I'm living here, same as you, and you don't get to decide who belongs." Her face twists, a flash of something ugly crossing it, anger maybe, or shock that I'm not bowing down. I can feel the heat rising in me, but I hold it steady, rooted right there on my porch. She's used to winning these little battles, scaring folks into submission. Not this time. I'm standing my ground, and she's about to find out what that means. So there I am, still squared off with Karen on my porch, her words, my neighborhood, still ringing in my ears like a bad song on repeat. She's standing there, chest puffed out, thinking she's got me cornered, that I'll just shrink under her glare like everyone else she's bullied. But I'm done. Done with her threats, her games, her smug little power trip. My blood's boiling, but my head's clear and I know exactly what to do. I reach into my pocket, pull out my phone and start dialing. Slow, deliberate, letting her see every move. Her eyes flicker, that smug smirk of hers. It twitches just for a second and I catch it. She's starting to squirm, shifting her weight like she's not sure what's coming. Good. Let her sweat. She's underestimated me from the jump. Thought I'd just take her nonsense lying down because that's what she's used to. But I'm not the one who's about to blink. I hold her gaze, phone to my ear, and I see it. The first crack in that wall of arrogance she's built up. Her clipboard's still in her hand, but it's not a weapon anymore. It's a prop, and a shaky one at that. "Hey, yeah, this is me," I say into the phone, loud enough for her to hear. "I've got a situation here, someone trespassing, making threats. Can you send someone out?" That's when it hits her. Law enforcement, the real deal, not her fake HOA clout, not her empty bluster. Her face changes, pales a little, lips tightening, and I swear I see her take half a step back. "You're calling the cops?" she sputters, like she can't believe I'd dare. "Oh, I am," I say, calm as can be, but there's steel in my voice now. "You've been harassing me, threatening me on my own property. That's not your neighborhood rules, Karen. That's the law. And I'm done playing." She's unraveling. Now fast. That whole "I'll make your life miserable" vibe she was riding, it's crumbling, and I'm watching it happen in real time. Her eyes dart around, like she's looking for an exit. But there's nowhere to run. She thought she could push me around, scare me into submission, but she didn't count on me pushing back, hard. My phone's still buzzing with the dispatchers. Her voice, and I've got her pinned, not with anger, but with the one thing she can't bluff her way out of, the truth. I've had enough, and now she's the one who's cornered. So there we are, Karen still flapping her gums, clinging to her crumbling throne like she's got any cards left to play. She's mid-rant, spitting out more threats, something about fines, lawyers, how she'll ruin me. And I'm just standing there, phone still warm from the call to the cops, letting her dig her hole deeper. She's so caught up in her own noise, she doesn't see it coming. I've been patient, I've played it cool, but I'm done. It's time to end this. I take a step forward, cut her off mid-sentence, and drop the bomb that's been sitting in my back pocket this whole time. Karen, I say, my voice low and steady, you might want to rethink who you're threatening. See, I'm not just some guy you can push around. I'm an FBI director. The words hang there heavy like a thunderclap on a clear day. Her face freezes, mid-smirk, mid-breath, mid-everything, and I swear I can see the exact second her brain catches up, her eyes go wide, her mouth drops, and that clipboard she's been waving like a scepter. It slips a little in her grip. She's not just rattled now, she's shattered. FBI, she stammers, her voice cracking like thin ice. All that bravado, that queen of the block nonsense, it's gone, evaporating faster than her courage. She's staring at me like I've just grown a second head, and I let her stew in it just for a beat. Yeah, I say, crossing my arms. FBI, as in actual legal authority. Not your little HOA fantasies. So go ahead, keep talking about making my life miserable. I'd love to hear how that works out for you. She's backpedaling now, literally and figuratively, tripping over her own words. I didn't mean, look, I was just trying to, but it's too late. Way too late. I've had enough of her harassment, her selective rules, her smug little power trip that's been grinding me down for months. I lean in, not loud, not angry, just cold and final. You picked the wrong guy. Karen, you've been trespassing, threatening me, trying to bully me on my own property, and I've got the law on speed dial. So what's your next move? She's got nothing. Her face is a mess of shock and panic, and I can see her scrambling for an exit that doesn't exist. She thought she was the big fish, the one calling the shots, but she didn't know who she was messing with. Not some random homeowner, not some pushover. Me, an FBI director standing on my porch, staring her down. And for the first time, she's the one who's scared. So there I am, still on my porch, watching Karen's world unravel right in front of me. She's stammering, trying to claw her way back from that FBI bombshell I just dropped, but I'm already 3 steps ahead. I've had it, years of her. Nonsense, her threats, her picking on me and anyone else who didn't fit her perfect little picture. She's not walking away from this one. I pull out my phone again, but this time it's not the cops I'm calling. It's the HOA board. I've got evidence, dates, every snide remark and fake violation she's thrown my way, all locked and loaded. This ends now, I tell her, and I mean it. I send the report off. Every detail of her harassment, from the grass height lectures to the disturbing the peace garbage she tried to pull today. I'm not just fighting for me, I'm done letting her terrorize this neighborhood. And turns out, I'm not alone. Word spreads fast, and before I know it, neighbors are stepping up, spilling their own stories. The Garcias down the street, she fined them for their kids' toys in the yard. Mrs. Patel. Karen hounded her over a flower bed that was too bright. One by one they come forward, and it's like a dam breaking, a flood of complaints exposing her for what she is, a petty tyrant who's been abusing her fake power for way too long. The HOA board doesn't mess around. They see the pattern, the stack of grievances piling up, and they move fast. Within days it's official. Karen's out, stripped of her so-called position, her clipboard confiscated, her reign of nonsense over. They make it crystal clear. She's never holding power in this community again. I hear she tried to plead her case, whining about misunderstandings, but no one's buying it. Not anymore. She's done, and I'm standing there on my porch, iced tea back in hand, watching her shuffle away, tail between her legs. It's quiet again. The birds are back, the sun's dipping low, and for the first time in forever, I feel like this place is truly mine. Not hers, not anyone's to dictate, just mine, and I know I'm not the only one breathing easier. The neighborhood's waking up, reclaiming what she tried to steal from us. Karen thought she could bully her way to the top, but she didn't count on me or us fighting back, and now she's the one who's lost everything. So there I am, still riding the high of Karen's HOA ousting, but I'm not done yet. She's down, sure, but I've seen her kind before. Slippery, spiteful, the type to slink back if you don't finish the job. I've got her number now, and I'm not letting her wiggle free. She spent years making my life, and this whole neighborhood's a living hell, and I'm not just some guy who'll let that slide. I'm an FBI director, damn it, and I know how to make things stick. So I dig deeper, pull strings, and make sure her little reign of terror gets the spotlight it deserves. I call in favors, file reports, and get the authorities on her trail, because this isn't just about me anymore. It's about everyone she's hurt. And holy hell, does it pay off? Turns out Karen's been at this game way longer than I thought. The investigation cracks open a Pandora's box. Years of complaints, hushed-up threats, neighbors too scared or worn down to fight back. The Garcias, Mrs. Patel, half the block, they've all got scars from her, and now it's all spilling out. The cops get involved, digging through her history, and it's uglier than I imagined. She's not just a nosy busybody. She's a serial harasser, a one-woman wrecking crew who's been breaking spirits and bending rules like it's her job. But that job's over now. The law's got her in its sights, and there's no clipboard big enough to shield her from this. It happens fast after that. She loses everything, her fake HOA throne, her stranglehold on the neighborhood, her precious influence. But it doesn't stop there. The pressure mounts, the whispers turn to shouts, and soon enough, she's packing up. Yeah, packing up. Karen's gone, kicked to the curb by the very community she tried to control. I hear she tried to sell her house quick, but no one's touching it with her stink all over it. She's out, forced to slink away with nothing but a moving van and a bruised ego. The street's quiet again, but it's a different quiet now. Peaceful, earned, ours. I'm back on my porch, iced tea in hand, the sun dipping low like it did that first day she came at me. The ice clinks. Against the glass, the birds are singing, and for once, I can breathe deep without looking over my shoulder. I didn't just stand up for myself, I stood up for all of us. The Garcias wave from their yard, Mrs. Patel's flowers are blooming brighter than ever, and I know we're free. Karen thought she could break us, but she didn't count on me, or this neighborhood, rising up. Now she's gone, and I'm still here, sipping my tea, knowing I helped take back what's ours. And damn, does it taste good.